Lai from University of Liverpool. In this paper, we show how salience theory can help us to understand the cross-sectional cryptocurrency returns. It is a joint work with Ren Zhao. Cryptocurrencies have become a new asset class on their own just within a decade of their first existence since the introduction of Bitcoin in 2009. The development of this emerging asset class have been significantly influenced by the attention-grabbing headlines. Investors are fear of missing out this new crypto gold rush. Just recently, we witnessed a new hype followed by a flash crash of Bitcoin yet again. What will happen near the end of this year is unknown, but what we can be sure is that this is not the last time we observe such a spectacular rise and falls. The growth of the cryptocurrency has challenged the traditional asset pricing theory. The origin of the currencies is designed to be decentralized and disconnected from any existing asset and institutional backing. This makes it one of the hardest assets to value given its unique characteristics. These include a lack of economic fundamental as a fiat currency has, a lack of cash flow as a traditional asset may have, and a lack of historical trust and cultural preference as a means of value storage, such as precious metals have. The question is then how this attention-grabbing rise and falls in the cryptocurrency market may affect investors' attention and their decisions. What this may have consequence on the cross-sectional cryptocurrency return. In this paper, we propose that the salience theory introduced by Bodalo, Janaio, and Schleifer offers a description of investor behavior that could be closely matched with the observation in the cryptocurrency market. There are three key features of the salience theory. First, it is a context-dependent theory of choice under risk. Second, salience theory tries to reflect the disproportional attention effect given by decision makers to payoffs that are stand out in the decision environment. These local thinkers overweight salience payoff when evaluating the expected payoff in the future. Applying this theory to asset pricing, it creates predictable return patterns. It starts with investor observed returns in a relevant investment opportunity set. This gives the context of the evaluation. Salience thinkers process this information in two steps. First, they evaluate the salience of the outcome in each stage by comparing the payoff of an investment with the average of the alternatives. Second, then they apply the salience distorted weight to evaluate expected value. This leads to biased expectations, especially security with the salient upside dominate the investor's attentions. This will have an upward bias in the expectations and lead to a lower expected return in the future. By contrast, other investments profile may lead to a salience downside. This will lead to a higher expected return in the futures. In other words, investment with salience upside is expected to have a lower expected return, while investment with a salience downside, we will expect there is a higher expected return in equilibrium. Such predictions of salience theory has found support in recent empirical studies. One is on US equity market and the other is in international financial markets. Especially salience theory is found to be more profound in stocks with higher limit of arbitrage and during high investor sentiment periods. Also, it has been documented to be more prominent in micro firms in international market and in countries with high idiosyncratic risk, but also in extreme market conditions such as high economic uncertainty and volatility period. Given this finding, we expect that the salience theory is going to be stronger in the cryptocurrency markets. The theoretical research in cryptocurrency markets show that network effect is important in determining the growth of this market. Especially market sentiment and expected growth are linked to investors' attention in this market. Empirically, this market is still relatively small with less sophisticated investors and lack of fundamentals. All these fit in the description of high salience effect documented in the previous literature. We apply the empirical asset pricing method to the cryptocurrency market using over 4,000 coins from 2014 to 2021. Here we present the main findings. We report the monthly asset return of the quintile portfolio sorted by the ST measure, ranging from the portfolio that is with salient downside, number 1, to those with salience upside, number 5. We can see that the portfolio's returns change monotonically decrease as portfolio change from salience downside to salience upside. The monthly returns are high minus lows generates 26% and 32% respectively for equal weighted and value weighted. These returns, it is more than 20 times of those documented in the equity market. Overall, it confirms that salience theory exists strongly in cryptocurrency market. In the paper, we also document a series of further robustness tests. We show that the ST return cannot be explained by the current LTW3 factor model. It also has incremental predictability to next periods of cross-sectional returns in the Farmer-Mabet regressions. We also show that the ST effect is different from existing factor, and more importantly, when we create a new ST factor, it is a strong contender to explain existing anomalies. We also show that cryptocurrency index, when compared within a context of 50 other alternative investment opportunities, such as equity or bond index or commodity index, there is also a negative salience effect on this index itself. We also show that salience investors are thrill seekers when we study the conditional effect of this on the market uncertainties. Finally, we also look at the robustness of alternative formations and use of different salience functions. Our study makes 3 contributions. First, we contribute to the understanding of the cryptocurrency pricing. We show that salience theory of decision making is a good description of the cryptocurrency investors' behavior. Not only there is a strong salience effect in the cryptocurrency market, but also a salience theory factor can be a strong contender of risk factor for explaining other predictable cross-sectional returns. This is especially appealing given that salience theory originates from a behavior theory model, which provides a clear interpretation of this factor. Second, we contribute to the testing of the salience theory. We confirm that salience effect it is indeed much stronger for an asset that is harder to value, and especially with less fundamental. It confirms previous literature finding regarding where and when the salience theory may be more applicable to asset pricing, and further highlights the important relevance of this theory to understanding new asset class, such as sneakers. Finally, we also contribute to regulatory considerations. Selling investors are especially vulnerable, as sophisticated investors can take advantage of their predictable biased behavior towards salience payoff. There have been plenty of evidence, including examples of crypto scams, manipulations such as pump and dump documented by Lin, Xin, and Wang. Also, there are attention-grabbing and potentially misleading advertisements on social medias and mainstream medias. The theory of salience thinkers provides a clear framework of understanding the design of these misconducts, especially alongside regulatory requirements to curb scams and manipulations and false advertisements. Investor education would also play an important role to reduce the impact of salience effect in this market. For example, running awareness campaigns on social media would be a possible step. Thank you very much for your time. Our paper is available on SSRN and ResearchGate. Please reach out with your comments and suggestions. If you are watching this during the festival seasons, I wish you a happy and safe Christmas. Thank you very much.